What comes to mind when you hear the phrase American cuisine? Is it defined by drive-thrus and open late fast food service? Or maybe it's the microwavable lean cuisine frozen dinner? How about something homemade, something classic, like the American apple pie? But what if American pie wasn't so American? What if key ingredients used to make it were produced in places other than America? Can that really even be considered an American pie? Instead, maybe it's the reality that this American pie is a product of years of globalization, where in actuality, the products that make it up are produced on a mass scale as a result of high global demand and a need to specialize to compete. If we look at an apple pie recipe, this becomes more evident. Take sugar. A large amount of exported sugar is produced in Mexico. It is Mexico's largest agricultural industry, where the industry as a whole accounts for more than 300,000 jobs there. This leaves over 2.2 million people reliant on the Mexican sugar industry. Recently, the North American Free Trade Agreement sought to restore the sugar industry after the government accrued large amounts of debt from trying to provide affordable sugar. Yet the sugar companies experienced competition from substitute products such as high fructose corn syrup, making sugar, the more expensive commodity, less desirable. Additionally, the government allowed for the importing of lower-priced sugar into Mexico. There has been improvement since then, and currently, a small portion of the mills will return to their owners. However, a fraction of them remain in government control, and those 300,000 poor farmers, they struggle to remain competitive in a market where they can import their own product cheaper than they can sell it. Now, let's look at cinnamon. At least, that's what the recipe calls for. But if you walk into most stores and pick up a container labeled cinnamon, then it's more than likely that you're holding a cheaper substitute known as kasha. And although there was a time where true Sri Lankan cinnamon was reserved for the upper class, while kasha was left for commoners, because of globalization, all Americans now have the opportunity to enjoy the same product regardless of class, the less expensive, more economical kasha. 90% of United States cinnamon and kasha import is comprised of kasha. Although cinnamon can be found most regularly in Sri Lanka, kasha is found in places such as China, Indonesia, and India. And this preference for the less costly of the two commodities may contribute to the decrease in Sri Lanka's share of exports since 1970, foiling China and Indonesia's increase since 1970. While Indonesia effectively dictates the supply of kasha, Sri Lanka sees an increase in labor shortages. Children are leaving the farms, looking to the cities for more lucrative jobs. With globalization, the idea of an American pie made from goods created strictly in America is a thing of the past. However, it's also clear that globalization's effect is not limited to commodities. Cultures and means of living are based off these tendencies to specialize and mass produce. And when places of the world are outcompeted in their own commodity group, we see a struggle and a need to adapt.